I think they range from very subtle to very brutal. And at the subtle end of things, I mean, let's go with a really subtle example. So you're leading the youth group, and you say to a youngster, a 16-year-old, listen, would you just get one other person along to the evangelistic meeting? Because you wouldn't want it to bomb, would you? What's going on there? I think that there's a very subtle abuse of power there that you don't recognize because you don't really recognize it as a power dynamic, but the 16-year-old probably does. Because what you've done is say, what I'm really interested in is the meeting, not bombing, which is probably more about my reputation as a youth leader than it is about one more person getting saved. That's really subtle. At the other end, you've got people, right at the other end of the most serious abuses of power, you've got people being forced to collude in their own harm for the leader's good. And we have all seen scandalous examples of that recently, tragically. But in the middle, there's a whole variety of practices. And probably the thing that concerns me most is where leaders get to the point where they have almost entire organizational capture, which means that nobody ever says boo to them anymore, either internally or externally. If somebody internally says boo to a leader, well, they're an outsider by default, and outsiders don't get the right to critique, you know. I think that there's a thing that goes on whereby we self-congratulate ourselves. So where I come from, what you do is you say, we're great Bible teachers. And all the great Bible teachers want to be with us. And if you're not with us, that means you're not a great Bible teacher, so why would I listen to you if you want to critique me? In other cultures, it is, are you sound? Are you reliable? Are you awesome? You know, pick your self-congratulatory adjective of choice. But basically it's to do with saying, I'm not open to critique. I'm not open to critique from inside. I'm not open to critique from outside. The question that I want every leader to ask is this: how strong safeguards do we need to protect me and everybody else from the worst version of me? Because the worst version of me is not very nice. And the same is true of all of us.